Good day, everyone, and this is another episode of Akatrits videos. Welcome to Akatrits, where we learn, hack, and grow. It's fun here, and don't forget that our next batch starts by next year, 2026 May, and we'll be happy to welcome you. So for today, we want to look at how to make use of Starkiller to create a payload, stager, and to grab an agent. Now we are going to start by installing the actual tool, though it comes pre-installed with most Kali Linux systems and even Black Hack. But to install it, you can just say sudo apt install PowerShell-empire, and that's going to get it installed. Now the main goal of this is that we're trying to show how attacks are being carried out and how to make use of Starkiller efficiently. So what we're going to do right now is to create a payload, or let me say a vulnerable file using Starkiller, and send it to our target. Once the target opens up this application, it gives us access to this target system, and we're able to access all their files, directories. We're able to make use of commands to interact with their systems and even do a lot more things. Now, the PowerShell Empire comes together with other tools as well, but one of the main tools that most people use it for is the Starkiller. So we can access the Starkiller either through the command line interface or the GUI, which is the graphical user interface. Now, for Starkiller is a very good tool when it comes to ethical hacking and trying to test for if humans, before you can even send a payload out, you need to also still make use of social engineering to an extent. I can't just give you a file and you just click on it anyhow. There has to be some words I've put in front already that's going to make you click on that specific file. So that's what I mean by the social engineering part of it. The way you deliver a payload is very, very important in cybersecurity, because that will determine if it will be successful or not. If you do not deliver the payload right, then I don't think it's going to be successful at all, because it has to be delivered right, the proper way. Because okay, just imagine someone goes to your WhatsApp and sends you an APK file. Would you, or let me just say, sends you a file generally, would you just click on that file like that? No. But someone who has started talking with you for the past 1 month, you guys have built a relationship, and then he says, "Oh, please, brother, can you help me check out this file? It's misbehaving on my own end. Can you please help me check it out?" You won't have a choice. You just open it up, and that's social engineering. Now let's continue with this. So what we want to do right now is that I would like to start the PowerShell Empire. So I'm going to say sudo PowerShell empire server. That's what I'm going to make use of here. So this what I'm doing right now is that I'm trying to start the Empire server, and this is going to start the Starkiller for me as well. Immediately I start the Empire server, this was going to start the Starkiller, and once Starkiller starts, I'm going to access it using the graphical user interface. I'm going to access it using my browser. So this says that it is being served at http localhost 1337, and that's the part we want to make use of right now. Now for that part, we're going to load up in our browser http colon my public IP, because I'm using an EC2 instance, then 1337. If you are using a normal Kali or virtual box, you can leave everything as localhost, but for me, I'll be changing it to my public IP address. Let me try logging in here. So default username is empire admin, and default password is password123. That's the default credentials for Starkiller. So we are logged in right now, and as you can see, we have our listener, we have the malleable profiles, stages, we have the agents as well. So we have a lot of functions in here that we can make use of. And the one we want to make use of for today particularly is that once you use the three. Now, what we'll be starting with is that we'll start by creating our listener first. Now, this listener will serve as the kind of way we want to connect back to the system, which is our listener. So we create that first. It is not the actual payload, so please don't make that mistake. So we're creating an HTTP listener. Let me give it the name for HTTP. Maybe let me just give it anything random. So HTTP caps lock. Just giving it a name. It's just the description. Do you get? That's what they have in front of it as name of the listener. Then I'm going to change that IP to my public IP address. It should be running on port either 80 as HTTP or 443, which is secured. Then you can leave other options as default, but I like setting my own the reach back interval to 10 seconds and the default delete to 0.2. That's how I like making this configuration here. Now I'm going to leave other things as they are, which is by default. I'm going to leave the others the way they are without making any changes. So let's see where this goes. Now you can choose to change your cookie. So I'm going to change this one to Arcatrace. Since this is Arcatrace, so I'm going to leave this as Arcatrace. Now let me submit this. This is created already, so submit. Now this has been submitted, and let me go ahead to create my payload next, which is what I'll be sending to the target. So they call it a stager. So I'm going here to create my stager. So I'm going to stagers. So now I'm click on create, and then select the profile, what type of stage I want to create. So I'm going to create a launcher bat. So that's the kind of stage I want to create right now, and I want to just give it a random name. Do you get now? So let me just give it a random name, something like Arcatrace. Yeah, maybe I should just give it Arcatrace instead, or should I just give it battle? This too is okay, battle launcher. Then which listener do I want to make use of for it? I'm going to be using HTTP listener. Then I will leave this as PowerShell, and then I'm going to change the launcher.bat to something else, and maybe smile.bat, but let it have the extension.bat. Now I don't want it to delete after running, though if you're sending it to an actual target, it's better to delete it after running, and you can set up authentication as well, but I don't need that, so I submit. So let me download my payload, which I want to be sending to my targets. So let me get this downloaded, and then let's see it download. I'm waiting for this to bring up my download, so I don't know why it is showing up nonsense. But yeah, you can see the authentication things. Okay, save. Let me save this. Yeah, it's okay. So let me keep it. Yeah, that's good. So let me run this file. Yeah, good. Let me run this. Okay. So I'm using my normal Windows as a target, and then if I go to under agents now, then let me check again on feedback. It's going to pop up here. Good. It pops up that my Windows device has a target, that it has been caught. That yes, I've got a target. So if I send this to a remote system as well, it will still take the same action. You can try to run some commands in here, even though let me just run some bad commands in here. Bad, like I said, those commands won't execute. So let me just run some bad commands in here. But what I'm just trying to say is that in this space here, you can make use of it to run commands. Now I'm going to go to the file browser, because the file browser can allow you to interact with the files here. So I'm going to go to the file browser there, then show you things you can do with it. Now this will show me, I'm still waiting for it to bring up my files. That's why I'm just going back and test. I'm playing with the other things, but let's see, let's wait for it. Still loading up. So in this file browser, it's better to load up the target files. Okay, good. I think it loaded it up right now. But first things first, check this out. These are commands you can run on the target system. These are things you can inject into the target system directly, since you already have access. So you can inject it into the direct systems. Maybe you want to access their clipboard. You can see there's a lot in here. So instead of you having to type in commands, you can just make use of that. My file browser, you can see these are the targets file browsers. inside the target current, and it says attempting to retrieve directory. So it shows you the current files of the target, and this is the target view. And yeah, that's just it. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you're able to learn a few things from this video. If you have any question regarding it, please don't forget to just drop a comment, and also please like and subscribe to this channel as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you by next week.